Morning, welcome back to the live stream. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope y'all had a good weekend. Back for our Tuesday live stream today. Check out what the market's doing today. Kind of had a little bit of whipsaw yesterday. A little up, a little down. But hopefully we'll be able to kind of see what's going on for today and maybe get a trade. So we'll head on over to our trade view screen and see what's happening today. As you can see, yesterday we got that started right about here at the end of the day, and we kind of had a nice little breakup, and then throughout the day we kind of continued to break down after that, and then back up into this morning. So we'll kind of see what happens today. It wasn't anything super interesting yesterday. Could have gotten a couple trades, I guess, out of the battle box, but nothing crazy. So I guess we'll just get started with that battle box, and then we'll kind of see what's happening today. I already got the battle box ready, but if you guys want to use this tool, there's going to be a link in the description. But basically, we'll have to get those different screenshots, FRVPs, and then that 30-minute levels, and then that new screenshot, which I'm going to grab real quick right now. So if y'all haven't ever used cryptograph.com, that's where we always get our news for the day. We just go and take a little screenshot out of there. Looks like Pal's actually speaking today, so yeah, I'll show it to y'all. This is what it looks like on cryptograph.com, but you can see at 11:35 we got Pal speaking, and then just here in a little bit at 8:45 we got some different PMIs coming out, which are more of a moderate impact. Yellow is going to be your lower to medium type impact, and then red will be the highest impact. So essentially, it's saying at 8:45 we'll probably have some movement just from the PMIs, and then at 11:35, it's kind of one of those you don't really want to be holding any trades into 11 or so because of PAL speaking, unless you're focused on just trading that news. We got that on there though, so we'll just head on to trade view and get those 4 different screenshots. Looks like we're below 200 on the 4-hour right now. Fighting there though. Kind of went sideways for a minute there. And now we're just fighting. I'm going to take off these lines real fast. I'm actually going to grab that. Yeah, I'm going to grab that 4-hour again so that way I don't have the lines on there. Don't want to confuse the AI and me. To the 1-hour. Get this one real fast. And then the last one we'll grab is at 5-minute. Okay, sweet. So we got our screenshots loaded in. Let's see them on here. Next thing we'll get is that FRVP level for the morning. The easiest thing you can do for this one is just go to the 1-hour and then head down 4 from the cross. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it'll be fixed range line profile. And For the way we do it, you start at 7 the previous day, so 7 o'clock on Monday to 7 o'clock today, 7 a.m. today, 7 a.m. both days, I guess. And then that'll be our 24-hour ones, which I already have some lines on there. If you want the same kind of lines as me, it's just Alt-J. So press Alt-J and you'll get a line like this, and you can just change the different settings, kind of mess around with it, change color. And then you can add some words and stuff if you want to get really fancy. If you want to know more in depth on how to do any of that kind of stuff, we have some videos on our channel covering that stuff. But for now, we'll just kind of get our lines on there, kind of drag and drop them right onto the corresponding colors. So volume area high is going to be your red one, POC is going to be your yellow, and then the volume area low will be blue. And now that I have those on there, I'm just going to go ahead and type in my GPT FRVP levels. And then I'll do 24-hour, volume area high, POC, and volume area low. And then I'll do the same thing for morning. And I'll put those same levels under there. So now all we have to do is just paste our lines in there. So we'll just grab them, click on them, go to settings, and then coordinates, and you can just press Control C, or you can right click on it and press copy. And we'll just paste all those in there. One, two, last one. Sweet. So we got all those in there now. So we'll go back to trading view. I'm going to turn off my 24-hour levels since I already got those. And then we'll take our FRVP that we made and we'll just click and drag the back side all the way to 3 o'clock this morning. So from 7 to 3. Just like that. And then this will give us our morning levels for today. So we'll turn back on our morning lines. And then these you can just do the same thing, drag and drop. And now since we already typed that in as well, we can just go ahead and click on them and grab the coordinates and just paste them into our thing. It's same as we did with the other lines. Yeah, sure. There is a lot of news today, especially with like Powell speaking. That's a pretty big event. Only whenever he talks, the market kind of goes wild. So we'll see. I guess I didn't really read it, but I don't know what he's really talking about. But it doesn't really matter. Like whenever that guy speaks, seems like something happens. So we'll kind of see what happens here with that coming out at 11. Kind of a weird time too. 11:30, I think it was. The next thing I'm gonna do is do the 30-minute candle. I'll do the high and the low. Yeah, I think I typed minute wrong. Okay, never mind. And then what I'll do for this one, so we'll head back to our GPT and we can go ahead and close these lines on here that we have on there and take off our FRVP levels. Then we'll head to the 30-minute, and the 7:30 candle is what we're looking for, and then you're just going to get the high and the low for that. And if you don't know where those are, they're up just above where it says Kabroda on my screen. It'll be a high and a low right there, H and L with some numbers next to them. So the high for our today's 30-minute candle is going to be 113.09. We'll head back to our JetGPT 113.09. And then the low is going to be 112.758. Just like that. And that should be it. You can do the weekly FRVP levels, but we're not going to put those in the live stream one. So if you're interested in doing that, you can go ahead and use our GPT. If you just open the battle box and just ask it how to do that, it will let you know how to put those weekly FRVP levels on there. But for today, we'll just kind of stick with just the regular things. So we got those on there, and that's it. So we got our screenshots, our news events, FRVP levels, and then our 30-minute candle high and low. And that's all you really need for the battle box. So kind of see what the setups are today. I go ahead and turn some of these lines back on, kind of see what's going on. It looks like we're pretty range bound in our volume area high and low of the morning so far. So not a bad sign. It's looking like we're still ready. It looks like we kind of want to break out to the bottom side, but we haven't yet. We definitely got some kind of resistance right here, at least on the 30-minute, I guess. I'm going to head back up to the 4-hour and we'll kind of go through the market recap. If you've never seen one of these before, we'll have the different time frames here with the different levels right below it, and then below that you got some strategy, news events. This is why it's good to have a screenshot those, because sometimes it misinterprets what color the things are, and so like for instance today it thinks everything is high impact, even though we know the PMIs are high or like medium high, and then you got Trump speaking that wasn't very high, and then you got Powell, which is very high, and then just moderate for the rest of the day, even though on here obviously it's showing everything's high except for Powell's really high. Other thing below that is going to be the execution considerations, so some things you want to watch for on different trades. And then if you have the weekly stuff in there, it'll be right here. And then below that will be some levels you can kind of just copy and paste into your chart if you're interested in that. But we're going to start with that, just seeing where the market's at today. So we'll start with this. I'm just going to read off kind of what it says about the time frame, and then we'll kind of dig in a little bit more to the TA of it. So for the battle box today, it's saying that the 4-hour price reclaimed above yesterday's mid-zone after sweeping lows. It's now pressing near 112.9K. MACD histogram is reducing the downside. RSI is building up but still mid-range, and neutral bullish momentum with shelf overhead, with resistance shelf overhead. So you can see just going out, zooming out a little bit, you got a nice breakdown on Sunday, and then Monday we kind of just went mostly sideways, a little bit of up and down, but really just sideways. Got some resistance here at bad line. Yeah, we'll do it this way. Got some resistance here at about 112 area. So we'll kind of just throw this on there, so you can kind of see where that resistance is. But you can see we kind of try to break through it multiple different times. Got that wick, and each time we got bought back up. So it's really more of a zone. If you ever done TA before, then you'll probably know that resistances are more of zones anyways. They're not really like lines like we always put on here. Lines are just kind of help us visualize it. But you can see we kind of got a resistance zone about right here. So as we come down, we kind of hit this resistance zone and then are coming bouncing back up off of it. So each time we've kind of broke into it or through it, we've gotten bought back up right back into it. So we've never really broken down into it. We'll close this out. The other thing that I'm seeing, and the battle box kind of talked about this, so we got that MACD slowly starting to see that smile happening. So you're seeing the bearish, I guess, candles or momentum, I guess, that was right here on these 6 candles was kind of going down. And then you got this kind of slow, but it's starting to slowly just kind of turn back the other way. So you're seeing they kind of break down in that. And then we're seeing the 2-day moving averages kind of start to curl, and blue's about to break through, which will flip this into green territory. You got RSI all the way at the bottom in the oversold category. We did get a little bit of bearish or bullish dip here, so you got a upwards momentum there, and then you got downwards here, which is div in and of itself, bullish div. So that's good for the chart. It kind of already played out. Most likely you could see more up, but last 24 hours shows bearish div on the 15-minute under the 221 EMAs, is what Spirit Maker just said. We'll check that out in a minute or two. But yeah, overall, the 4 hours kind of sitting stagnant. Looks like it's ready to go, but the smaller time frames are going to determine more of what we're kind of doing for today. We can still see some more downside before we see some upside. Heading to the 1 hour. The battle box is saying that the 1 hour higher low structure is forming on the 111.5k base. EMAs are beginning to compress, and the MACD histogram is flipping positive. Markets are probing mid-range consolidation. So we're seeing almost the opposite on the MACD on the 1 hour. We're seeing that green candles here, and then you're seeing that momentum kind of fade off as the moving averages start to flip the other way. Looking like we're going to flip that smile upside down, kind of turning into a frown almost the other way around. We do have some resistance here at that volume area high level. We kind of just ran up and hit it, which is pretty close to what Spirit Anchor just mentioned in the comments. We got that 112,800 level, so we kind of ran up, hit it, and broke down off of that. The RSI is kind of mid-range, but you can see that we're starting to curl over, showing possible continuation downwards again. We did have some bullish div on the 1 hour as well. Possibly played out already, but you can see we have an uptrend here and a downtrend here. So some bullish div, not anything crazy. We did get a little bit of an up run here, so that could have possibly in it. We did break this prior high. We kind of had a high and then a lower high, and then right now we just broke it and made ourselves a new higher high. So possibility of this continuation, but as of the indicators are all kind of looking more bearish. Stoches as well are also at the top, so you're looking for a downturn here. Stoches aren't as worrisome, I guess, on the longer time frames like this one, so nothing I would be too worried about, but that's kind of what we're looking at. So a little bit of bullish dip, nothing crazy. Heading to the 15. So this is the one Spirit Maker was just mentioning that The 24-hour shows bearish div on the 15-minute. Or the last 24 hours show bearish div on the 15-minute. Yeah, so he's probably talking about you got this point here to this point here. And we got an uptrend here, whereas on the chart we got a downtrend. And it could be on the long time frames. I wasn't really. So we'll check that real fast. Kind of even here. And I mean, it technically, I guess, works both ways because you got this uptrend here and we got a flat, essentially, top. So if you do it right here, we got a flat top, uptrend on there. So that's technically bearish div as well. So I guess both of these are, well, 4-hour doesn't really have that. Yeah, 4 hours is more bullish than bearish, on div wise at least. 1 hour it does have both, so they kind of balance each other out in a way. There is some bullish or bearish div on the 15-minute. It also doesn't have. Excuse me. It doesn't have bullish div. It did earlier, but we've kind of since then got back into the rhythm of what's kind of happening on the chart. So nothing. The div is kind of more bearish than bullish on the 15-minute, at least, like Streetmaker was saying. The battle box is saying that the 15-minute has sideways compression between 112.6 and 112.9 with stacked moving averages. RSI is about 50, no decisive breakout. Neutral chop is awaiting the catalyst. So we're kind of seeing just sideways chop through this art. Volume area high and volume area low. You got RSI about 50. We are curling downwards. You got the MACD is still technically bearish. We could see, not seeing any kind of curling really, so it could go either way. You got stoaches are about 50 as well. It's kind of same as RSI, so we're kind of seeing more of a downtrend look for the stoaches, looking like they might curl here. Same kind of thing as MACD, though they really could go either way. Yeah, and that's really kind of RSI as well. Either way, we are leaning more bearish because we're below the yellow there, but it's not really pointing in a direction either way. Heading to the 5, the battle box, which will be a little bit behind now since we've probably been talking for a candle or two. Battle box says choppy micro flags forming around the VWAP zone, rejections on both sides, confirming indecision at the value, execution time frame not yet directional. So basically it's saying we're not really picking a direction either way as of yet. We are getting sort of a curl in the MACD, but MACD just kind of looks choppy as well since about 7:25 or so, 7:30. Kind of just chopped sideways. You got RSI sitting about 50, same as the 15-minute. Not really picking a direction either way as well, same thing. And then you got the RSI or stoaches on the bottom, kind of curling up, showing that we could get a little bit of a push here, but I wouldn't expect anything too big without the other indicators kind of lining up with it. Pattern wise, we kind of see this little flag forming here. But it's hard to kind of say. It's really either direction right now. We're kind of waiting for it to kind of show its head and pick a direction. at least as of right now. We're looking more bearish, I would say, just one based off the battle box, and two, um, just seems like the charts are leaning a little bit more bearish. But really, we could go either way. We do have that news event right now, so that could alter it too, or that I guess is coming up in like 20 minutes or so. So we could start seeing that kind of affecting the chart as well. Spirit Maker says the move up was last night. Then we hit resistance at the 112.8 level, 4-hour 200 resistance, right? And it's been like that over the last 24 hours. Yeah. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, we are seeing resistance at that 112.8 level. But it has not really picked a direction yet, so we're kind of just waiting to see what will happen. Um, Overall, we do also have this other pattern. So if you're looking at longer time frames, you kind of seen this sideways flag. Like, here, I'll draw it out a little bit lower. So you're kind of seeing like you've seen the breakdown here, and then now we're kind of going like this sideways. Um, at least sideways, or we could get a possible like this, and then a little bit up, and then we'll see another takedown. At least longer term, that's kind of what we're looking at. On just based off the pattern right there. Spirit Maker says the daily is still asking for price action to come down. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, we just fired on the MACD on the daily, so we could see some possible fallout here. Um, Overall, yeah, I mean it technically says down. Unless we see some movement today, and then we could flip that, I guess. But overall, yeah, it's looking like it's starting to tell us that we're gonna see some downtrend for it. 110 or 108 is what Maker's thinking. 108 would be that bottom of the previous low we had, and then 108 or 110 would be about that where we saw some resistance as we were kind of coming out of that bottom there. So overall, we'll see. See what kind of happens. The news events could definitely mess with it today. But the only thing we can really do is just trade our system and continue to uh, just take trades like we normally would. Continue to take our system. Um, yeah, I mean, as of right now, it's kind of looking like we could go either direction. Um, Down is definitely more intriguing, but again, either direction is still kind of in play as long as uh, we haven't really started picking one yet. We're gonna go ahead and start that battle plan for today. Kind of see if the battle box has any differing opinions than us. I guess let's say. Make a battle plan. Terry says sticking with the daily. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't see any. I see we're starting to get that confirmation. I just don't see the full on confirmation of we're gonna dump out right today. I mean, according to our battle box system, though, we are kind of getting more of, uh, kind of getting the signal to start taking it down trade there. Once this candle closes, or if it closes below, we'll get a retest here, and then we'll take it down. Technically, I guess you did get one about 6:15, but it's kind of been playing with us all morning, so we'll see. That news event could definitely affect what's happening, especially the one coming up here in like 15 or so minutes. Looking at the battle plan though, so it's saying we get that breakout long, which it actually saying is preferred if momentum confirms. The 15-minute, so the battle box is thinking we'll probably go up today. But again, it's just an AI, so it's not gonna be perfect. Battle Spirit Maker saying days like this, the amount and read price action, then stick to support and resistance. Yeah, I agree, but we're just gonna have to watch those, kind of figure out what's going on. If we do end up breaking that 12.8 though, we could see a nice run up. So kind of have to wait and see what's happening, and be wary of the nose. But essentially, the battle box is just saying we get that breakout that long, break that 12.8, then you take the trade up. Basically, same kind of thing there. 13.5 would be our first stop. So, actually, I would disagree with that. Like, I think 13.5 is probably a good first stop, I guess. But you need to be wary of if we do get that break of the 12.8, then that 13.100 area, about where our volume area high is another resistance point. So that's something to watch out for. It's still kind of, I would say, in that zone of 12.8 zone. So something to watch. Spirit Maker saying hold and build with. He's basically saying that the EMAs need to be under the price action to get us to go up, which is true. But where is the 15-minute? Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, we could. I mean, I don't know. It's hard. You're gonna just have to wait and see what direction we're going. Like, you can't. It's not really picking direction yet, so you can't really decide which way it's gonna go. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Um, it's still saying either way, and that daily could flip pretty fast if we start getting an uptrend, which we do have some bearish div, but we also have some bullish div. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where we kind of end up, but as of right now, we're not picking either way. There is a lot of chop though, so like Spirit Maker just kind of mentioned, so we are gonna have to kind of play it safe, play it with the battle box. If it breaks out, great, take a trade up. If it breaks down, great, we'll take a trade down. We're kind of watching it though either way, and you probably want to stay out of it for the next, I don't know, to probably about 9 or so, just in case that news event does kind of mess with the market. We'll kind of be just be leery of it, I guess. The other trade that the battle box is talking about for today is that breakdown trade. So if we get that break at the volume area low and retest, then we'll get out, or we'll get into the trade there and take that trade down. And then the targets are just going to be your POC and then the volume area low on the 24-hour. which would be 12.6 and then 12.3. And if we do end up going for bigger targets, they could be those targets that Spirit Maker was talking about 110, and then 108 or so. And then really that's really it. So just watch out for that news. Be careful when you get in. Just remember we got that news at 8:45, and then we got some news at about 11:30 ish. So and 11:30 should be more impactful, I guess, than 8:45. So just something to kind of be leery of as you're trading. It's not looking like a super awesome trading day, but you never know. So kind of be watching for maybe the breakout here or breakdown. But whatever it is, we'll be trading it. So yeah. If y'all want to check us out again, we'll be live again tomorrow at 8. So make sure you get on and join us there for that. Also, if you want to kind of see a little bit more about what we're thinking throughout the day, we got a recap coming out at 10 o'clock. So make sure you check out that if you want to learn a little bit more about trading and just kind of see what's happening with us or with what we're kind of thinking throughout the day. Then yeah, I'll get the levels from the live stream posted on X, so make sure you check that out if you want to just grab the levels, or feel free to check out our battle box and make your own battle box daily market review. But other than that, we will catch you all tomorrow. Happy trading, y'all, and I'll see you then.